Welcome to Sports Center. I'm Scott Van Pelt, greeting you from our nation's capital this Memorial Day weekend. New York Knicks have a 3-0 series lead. We will visit with Jalen Brunson, break things down with Tim Legler and Iman Shumpert, who is with us here in studio, plus highlights of an overtime thriller in Raleigh between the Canadiens and the Hurricanes. We begin with Game 3. Cleveland down 0-2. They've been excellent on their home floor throughout these playoffs. Gotta have it. And you've got a worthy opponent, but you've got, Trav's ready to light the candle, fire the crowd up, chug the beer. But New York, they're just buckets, buckets, buckets. Kenny Atkinson using an early timeout. New York jumps Cleveland 9-1. Beautiful behind the back from Brunson to Karl-Anthony Towns. Back in the day at pickup, that's a walk 1,000 times. Not anymore. Karl-Anthony Towns, it's 2 and the Knicks lead 7. James Harden in the paint, left-hand scoop. Kelsey and his lovely better half, Taylor Swift. See Cleveland within 2, and now Harden stop ball. No one stops the penetration of Harden. Brand new ball game tied at 48. But then the other way goes Brunson. No one stops ball there, and New York leads by 2. Then Brunson. Strus hits the deck. No call. Play on. And it's an easy 2 for a great shooter. Knicks are 8-1 when leading at the half. Cavs 3-6 when trailing, so the math wasn't mathing for the home team. Third quarter, the Knicks extend the lead. Donovan Mitchell looking down low. The turnover in transition. Good find. OG Anunoby. Great bounce pass to Bridges, and the lead's now 7. 8-point lead. Anunoby down the lane. It's now a 10-point game. Harden going to work on Brunson. Bucket and the foul. So down to a 7-point game. Late third, Brunson. Beautiful step to get the clean baseline look. Lead pushed back to 9. And then this is just gorgeous. Cleveland got a bucket. Brunson attacks. Easy alley-oop. Mitchell Robinson, the lead's back to 9. Dozen minutes, and Cleveland's got to find something. They don't. Instead, it's Landry Shamet who finds the 3-point stroke. Buries that. It's a 14-point game. Again, it's Shamet. Step back, working on Harden. You can take those 3 with you as the lead is 14. Now it's Brunson. Working through Spida, and it's the wrong-footed left-hand scoop. And this Knicks team is a juggernaut, looking to win their 5th straight on the road by 10 or more. And that's the story right there. The Cleveland defense, not much pushback. Knicks shoot 56% and roll to another win. Joined now on the program once again by the heartbeat of this New York Knicks squad. It's Jalen Brunson after he and New York puts a stranglehold on this series with an emphatic Saturday night win. Jalen, congratulations. You all have been fantastic on the road throughout the playoffs. But going into this building on a Saturday night against a team that's been great on their floor throughout these playoffs, what was your sense of what you all needed to do right out of the gate to have a chance to end up where you are, which is victorious?
Yeah, we knew that the crowd was going to be into it. They have a great fan base. I think most importantly, just keeping our composure. And, they were going to make runs, they're going to make plays, but we just had to keep playing our style of basketball, keep fighting, just keep sticking together.
Over the course of these last 2 playoff runs, Jalen, you all have not been good. You've been a great road basketball team. I think mindset's a word we use in media that might not even mean anything, but just your approach as a group. What's been so good about it on the road over these last couple of postseasons?
I think we genuinely like playing together. We created a chemistry that's it's been great, and I love playing with these guys, and they mean a lot to me, and it's been a lot of fun.
Is there something to the fact that as great as the Garden is, and we talk about it all the time, maybe me too much sometimes, but is there maybe something that's even more fun about going onto the road into a hostile environment and shutting the place up? Seems like maybe.
Yeah, I mean, playing the Garden is amazing. I mean, there's no place like it. But when you're on the road with your teammates, and it's just you guys, and you got some fans that travel, but it's a real hostile environment. I mean, it's fun, playing those type of environments for sure.
A little bit. The Philly takeover, the Sixer fans are worried about. I was surprised, man. It's like, as the game's coming to a close, they're chanting MVP and there's blue in the building. You said to Lisa Salters, Knicks fans travel for sure. But, I mean, you get the sense that there's a growing bandwagon for this Knicks squad that's outside of the boroughs in the city?
Maybe. But, we welcome it. I mean, if you're going to cheer for the orange and blue, more power to you.
Right on. All right, so Cleveland's a proud team. They're a good team. Nothing will come easy Monday. The last one to get is the hardest one. Always is. But you got a chance, if you can end it, to get some rest. And it looks like it might go a while between the Spurs and the Thunder. What kind of urgency do you bring in a game where they have to win, but maybe it means as much to you just because you can rest?
Yeah, I think our mindset is most important. We're not thinking about resting. We're thinking about what can we do to be better? What can we do to finish the possession, finish the quarter, finish the half, finish the game? That has to be our mindset. We can't look ahead at all, especially against these guys. Regardless of what it is now, it's 0-0, and we got to go out there and win.
I get that. Last quick one. It's 5 straight road wins, all by double figures. It's 10 straight wins total in the playoffs. And I appreciate when you look at the film, you can get better. But how close to the ceiling, Jalen, do you feel like your group collectively is right now at the most important time?
I have no idea, and I think that's a good thing. I really have no idea. Most importantly, I don't think we are even looking for that. Now we're just trying to find ways to make sure that we're staying locked in, we're staying poised, composed, and sticking together.
Well, I'd say even grading with the sharpest pencil, the Knicks squad's pretty good right now. I'm sure you would admit you guys are playing great, and you go for the sweep on Monday night. Thanks for taking the time after another dub tonight, Jalen. We'll talk again soon, all right?
Always, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
We have breaking news, Dateline, New York. As always, read in the voice of Action Bronson. This Action Bronson report on the Knicks' victory. So focused, burying them. No mercy. This has been an Action Bronson report. The Knicks have outscored their opponents by 225 points during this 10-game winning streak, the largest point differential in any 10-game span in NBA history, regular season or the playoffs. The problem for the Cavs is this is the playoffs, and the last 3 have all been against them. Here's James Harden.
We're still confident. Like, the confidence is, never going away. Like, we're more than capable. We just need some things to a shift change and make some shots to the series turns around.
And you got to give credit. They're up 3-0, right? Like, they've beaten us 3 times. So I'm not saying that, but no, I don't feel like we're overmatched. I think we just have to find a way. And like I said, I hate to harp on it, but like, we were up 22, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on everyone in this locker room. We know that, we feel that, and we have an opportunity on Monday to get game 4 and then go from there.
I wish more than anything that we could take the camera from upstairs and record the conversations we had as we watched this game. And Bon Shumpert's with us in studio. I've rarely had more fun watching any game with anyone. It was a blast. Yeah. I want to try to give people the good stuff and narrow it down. The Knicks deserve credit, but you described Cleveland's defensive effort as the worst performance I've ever seen. Yeah. Why?
The effort. When you talk about the time and situation, we're talking about good basketball. There's guys that realize, okay, we're coming home. We need a push. We need a little bit more. The first thing on the list should not be transition defense. That's something that you and the guys need to huddle up real quick on the free throw line. Nip that in the bud. Transition defense, 1-2 dribbles and then a blow-by straight line drive to the basket. These are all effort things. These are things that we look at as players and say, hey, do y'all know that y'all are facing elimination? You know, your whole season can go in the trash after this. Mm-hmm. And when I'm watching it, I don't see the faces of guys that feel like our backs are against the wall. I feel like it looked a little cool out there.
New York does shoot 56% in part because, to your eyes, you don't see enough pushback from Cleveland. Yeah. But the credit that New York is earning by virtue of stacking win after win on the road, not just wins, but double-digit wins, Amon, in a time of year when those are tough to come by. What are the Knicks showing in terms of a team that's now a win away from the finals and 5 wins away from a parade through the Canyon of Heroes?
Well, in a temperature of basketball that we are now playing positionless basketball, where everybody can do a little bit of everything, the Knicks have now shown improved. No. You need a point guard. Jalen Brunson is one of those guys that we kept talking about has this tweener game. He wants to score, but he's undersized, blah, blah, blah. What I've seen this playoffs is that Jalen Brunson can make adjustments. Jalen Brunson can actually go out here and bat singles. He can make the hockey assist. He understands a game plan that says, hey, you're going to make this guy beat you. Okay, cool. That's my guy, actually. That's my brother right there. Josh Hart can beat you. He instills confidence in guys. He keeps his turnovers down. He is showing us a real floor game from a real point guard mindset. And I think when we look at the other side, we start to say, who's playing point guard over there? What is the matchup? If we're going to sit here and act like the matchup at the end of games with Jalen Brunson and James Harden isn't the matchup, and that's not what we're going to focus on, who is his matchup? And when I look at that, I say positionless basketball, this playoffs just hasn't been successful.
And as we watched the Cleveland team tonight, that starts okay. I wrote down like hope is not a plan, right? Like you hope you're going to shoot better when you go home because you go 4 for 25 at the end of the game in the Garden in game 2. Yeah. Slightly better, but not enough better. And Donovan Mitchell is a guy that I feel is a star, but I want to see even more from him in games like this, particularly in this game. And I just don't get that.
Well, I'll give you a little story I had. During the playoffs, well, it might have been a championship. During the championship, LeBron James was out there killing, doing everything for us at both sides of the floor. T. Lue came in at halftime, raised both his arms up and said, Bron, I know you playing well. I need more. I need more. Bron looked around like, I'm doing everything. But we need more. And when you look at somebody like Donovan Mitchell, you know what he possesses to score the basketball first. But the effort, he is an athlete. I don't care. Honestly, you got the nickname Spider Mitchell. I don't care if you tired. I don't care if you banged up. Yeah. Do it without the mask. Save the bus. Save the girl. Take the punches, the broken ribs. That's why you're Spider-Man. Yeah. When I look at this team, I look at guys that feel like sometimes somebody needs to put them in position. Somebody needs to show them the way. No. Half the things that are going on with Cleveland is effort.
And I don't ever prematurely bury anybody, but history says they're done because no one's ever escaped out of it.
Well, luckily, I'm a guy that's been on the wrong side of, a record like this. Right. Whether anybody includes them in the conversation is irrelevant. If they can, first off, decide, one, we're going to take note to, honestly, just watch a little film. Let's watch some film and decide, hey, James Harden, 6 turnovers, 8 made field goals. You see where the problem is. Yeah. Let's watch some film. Blow-bys, people attacking you in transition, people attacking you in the half court. You have to see these things and say, I'm going to step up and I'm going to have some pride about it. And it's got to be a collective because I didn't see a lot of high fives from the Cavs today. I didn't see them bringing each other together on the free throw line. Mm-hmm. The effort, the I don't want to curse, to give AF, to care. It's nice to care.
This is where I was about to have one of our upstairs conversations and say, I don't think film's going to make any difference at this point. It feels like New York is headed to the finals. We'll have a conversation in a bit about what's going on in the West and what you see as we move towards Game 4 in the Western Conference. To the NBA, where the Knicks, for the first time, hold a 3-0 lead in the penultimate round of the playoffs. It's also the first time that they've held a 3-0 lead in multiple best-of-7 series in the same postseason. They are absolutely cooking. They swept the Sixers, and they are on the verge of doing the same to Cleveland, a chance to close it out on Monday. They've won 10 consecutive playoff games, which extends the franchise postseason record. Knicks are the 10th team in the history of the NBA to win 10 straight playoff games. 8 of the previous 9 reached the finals, including 5 eventual champions. As far as this particular series is concerned, nothing new for New York. 120 different matchups with at least 15 meetings in the postseason in NBA history. The Knicks are 15-2 against Cleveland, and that's the best of any of those. Joined now by Tim Legler. And Tim, tonight in Cleveland, It's a holiday weekend. You've been really good at home throughout the playoffs. You're down 2. You've got to defend home court. And the Cavs had zero answers for what New York was doing offensively. Earlier in the show, Amon Shumpert and I were aghast at the defensive effort from Cleveland. But you got a counter, which is what the Knicks are doing so brilliantly on offense. How do you frame it?
Yeah, look, the Cavs have run into a better team that is playing their best basketball. And when you run into that and you've got this kind of balance up and down your starting lineup, very difficult to figure out a way to limit them because there's nothing that you can really do to expose some part of their team offensively, Scott. They tried that in game 1. They weren't going to send help on Brunson. You saw how that worked out at the end of the game. Game 2, they're going to give him all kinds of traffic, and Josh Hart goes off. And then in this game, it was a little bit of both. So I just think the balance across the board of the ways they can beat you in the paint from the 3 and with their defense now, which has turned into an elite defense, it's just too much for the Cavs. Their one hope was they shoot a lot of threes. If you can shoot a high percentage and enough guys can contribute in that area, it keeps you in the game. Last couple games, they have not been able to do that.
Yeah, like, hope's not a plan, all right? I mean, Cleveland had to hope they'd shoot better when they went home. They just didn't. And on a night where the Knicks shoot 56% legs, they were going to have to shoot it like about 40, as you say, and they don't. And history says Cleveland's done. If you're New York and you recognize that maybe it's going to go for a while in the West, as exciting as it is to get to the finals, how much urgency is there? Let's get this thing done Monday and get as much rest as we can.
I think right now you're going to see them with their foot on the accelerator in Game 4, without question. There's not going to be a let-up by this team. And the reason is this, Scott. When you're in this situation, you don't want to play any more games than you have to because the one thing that could derail something is somebody getting hurt. So just do the math. That's one less game you have to play. Then get on to the finals. So they're going to come out with the right sense of urgency on Monday. There's no question about that. And for the Cavs, look, the start of this game, I will say this was the loudest environment that I've been in the postseason prior to tip. This crowd was ready. The problem is the Knicks took it to them physically, early, getting into the paint, beating them up in that way. Got some easy baskets to start their night. And it was difficult from that point on for the crowd to find the energy that the Cavs are going to need because they weren't giving them enough results on the court. So I think the energy will be okay in the beginning. But the Knicks have proven they know how to squash that pretty quickly and demoralize you.
Styles make fights, right? Matchups in basketball determine who wins series. If New York is to win, and they'll play either the Spurs or the Thunder, probably be a dog in either series. But in hearing you talk about the Knicks, it sounds to me like you believe that this is not just an Eastern Conference championship quality team. It's potentially an NBA championship team. You believe that, it sounds to me.
There's no doubt, Scott. Whoever comes out of the West, and I think everybody thought for a long time is a foregone conclusion, whoever wins the West, that's your NBA champion. The Knicks have changed that narrative. The Knicks are now a team that can absolutely go toe-to-toe with those two teams, who, by the way, still have a lot of work to do. So who knows what those teams will do to each other, trying to secure that spot in the finals across the New York Knicks. But, Scott, think about this. You're talking about a team in the Knicks that is number 2 offensive rated team amongst all the playoff teams, number 1 defensive rated team, number 1 in three-point percentage, and they get about 60 points a night in the paint. Also number 1 in fast break points. I mean, there's just across the board, the totality of what they're hitting you with, nobody has had close to enough answers. In the Eastern Conference, certainly now you're talking about 2 elite teams in the West. One of those teams will be staring at the Knicks. If Knicks can close this out, assuming they get that 4th win, the Knicks absolutely belong in that category as a championship caliber team. There's no doubt they've turned themselves into a great team right before our eyes.
48 minutes to earn the right to play for the chip. We'll be watching on Monday and talking when it's done, Tim. Look forward to it.
You got it, Scott.
Let's continue to roll this postseason as Saturday night they grabbed a 3-0 series lead. Jalen Brunson, slow start in the first half, but in the second half, Brunson put his stamp on this game, pushing the lead to 8 with a baseline jumper. Then again, working on James Harden, probes the defense, then a step back, and the lead is now double digits. Brunson, again, same scenario, same matchup. The lead is 9. Under 5 to go in the third, Brunson on his drive and up top an easy 2 alley-oop to Mitchell Robinson as Brunson scored or assisted on 14 in the third quarter. That's more than the entire first half. And he would finish with a game-high 30. Landry Shamet was a huge contributor in game one with stops and some big buckets, and he was big time in the fourth. Hits the 3 there off the rebound. Hart to Shamet again. And one more time, 11 off the bench in the fourth. Step back, all 3 of these. Afterwards, Mike Brown asked about big body Brunson.
Jalen, he's MVP. He's an MVP candidate. He's supposed to do what he did tonight. He's got to go score it, or he's got to command a double team and make the game easier for everybody else. Our bench, everybody that came on the floor, they played great minutes for us.
We have a bunch of individuals in that locker room who work really hard, and they're very psychotic about their work and the things they do, and making sure that their minds that they're ready physically and mentally. So when their number's called and when there's time to go out there, they're ready.
So the Knicks lead 3-0 in the round before the finals for the first time in franchise history. Now minus 6,000 to get to the finals for the first time since '99. On the other side of the bracket, OKC grabbed home court back with a victory on Friday. They're now substantial favorites to make it back to the finals, a chance to go back-to-back. Iman Shumpert is back. And as we watch the Spurs jump out to that 15-0 lead and the Thunder just absorb it, not blink, and roll to a 15-point victory, you noticed some things that the Spurs showed. I don't know, is it youth? Is it inexperience? But none of it's a recipe to beat the Thunder. What were those things?
Well, when we look at stuff and we say you're young, we want to say you're young to the 2-for-1 rule. At the end of the game, not seeing a matchup that you should take advantage of. You don't want to have bonehead turnovers, bad fouls, especially fouls so far away from the basket. They have a lot of those things that happen, and if you do those things, you can't be aggressive on defense. Your defense drop against OKC, you see the result. You don't get back in transition against OKC, you see the result. You just got to be better.
From Wembanyama's perspective, that first game was just had people freaking out, myself included. But since then, you felt like there's something that's there for him that he's kind of passing on, which is what?
Yeah, all the greats turned their back to the basket and shot the mid-range. All the greats had a 1 or 2 dribble pull-up. If Wemby decides to shoot over you, there's nothing you can do. If Kevin Durant decides and he can shoot over you, Wemby, that means you can't even see us down there. So I just think it has to be something that says, hey, I know we can't score right now. I know things are a little crazy. Let me get to my 15 to 18 footer, calm everybody down.
I asked Chet Holmgren this the other night. I wonder what you think of it. Last year, we were there for the finals, game one, and Ty beats them at the buzzer, and they're down 1-0. So they lived in that around earlier a year ago and went on to win the finals. They've experienced that. How much can you lean into knowing what now has to happen, then go out and do exactly what they did on Friday?
That's the part of being a veteran. That's the part of being the returning champions. That's part of having the MVP, to understand the mindset, to understand what goes into this game and what goes into every game. Every game is its own series. But when you can make the adjustment and say, hey, we now have home court back, I can now calm the rest of my roster. Now we can get back to the adjustments.
It's a quick flight from Atlanta to D.C. if you want to come back. I mean, if you ever want to do this again.
Hey, listen, I ain't never had a problem coming to Chocolate City, baby. You need me, you got me.
All right, Iman Shumpert, you heard it. That's a verbal contract that the man made. He'll be back at some point. Appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.